crafty friends, welcome to my channel today. I am doing a layout for the How to Kill a Kit with Style for March. So for March we are using like the theme of selfies type of situation, and I am still using the kit that I had from January, so that I made up. I don't think I have that video up yet, but it will be up this week. So be on the lookout for that. I basically have a whole bunch of Dear Lizzie that I pulled out, and then I added a few extra things. So I am using this mixed media background that I created. This also will be up on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel next week or Sunday, something like that. So it's not up yet, but it'll be up there. So when that goes live, I'll make sure that I put the link for it later in the description box. Also, because this is a hop, be sure to look in the description box because all the other crafters who are joining in will be down below, and it's going to be a whole bunch of us. So feel free to jump around and follow the hop because we all worked hard on our projects, and I really love the idea of stash kits. So when Jen was saying, you know, looking for more involvement and stuff, since I used to do the other stash kits, I just decided this year I'm gonna do that one because it's just a really fun one, and she always has a lot of cool prompts and stuff. So I'm put a little bit of extra media. I mixed the gelatos with the distress crayons and just kind of mimicked the similar colors, and just for a little bit of extra texture on that background. I mean, obviously it is full of texture. That was all created using acrylic paints, and and so it's just a super fun background. And then so I'm gonna go with that theme of purple and teal or turquoise. It's almost like a minty color. It's definitely I don't know, it's a mix, but it's more minty. It's that cooler tone instead of the warmer tone. Anyway, so now I am using this stencil. I've used this stencil so many times. It's one of my favorite stencils, and I love to do it this way by using a pen or a marker. As you see, I've switched back and forth. I use just a black pen. I think I got it from like Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby or something like that. So it's just like a pen that you can use for journaling or whatever, but it works pretty well on mixed media. So and both of these are more matte. Like the teal color is a little bit more, has a little bit more of a satiny finish as opposed, but it's not super satin where you can't draw on it. So obviously the black marker worked a lot better than the other marker that was a teal color. So I wanted to kind of bring in a darker color. It's more green. So now I decided I'm going to do more texture on here because why not? And since we were doing the theme of selfie, I wanted to just kind of highlight some things that I love to do on my layouts. And in the Crafty Maven Getaway, our group, we have a destination group for inspiration, and our challenge this month for March is layers. So, or yeah, layers. So I wanted to emphasize like the different ways you could add layers and textures to a layout. And this is one thing that I used to do all the time, and I absolutely love it. So I took that glue, and that is the Trinity pen glue. I really love it because it gives a little bit more precision. But it doesn't clog up as much. So, and then I took embossing powder and I put it over top of all of those, and then you just use your heat gun, and it, the powder adheres to the glue, and then you can get a really cool texture. I will say that the thicker the glue is, the more it's going to bubble up. So I also did this twice. So I only showed once because I didn't think I needed to show 2 times. Because I went back over, I did the whole thing, and then I went back over and just did each group by itself. The second time you go around it, I didn't add more glue. So it's just whatever is residual that's hot. So that's why I just did one section at a time. I kind of reheated it and then added more. So it doesn't add too much more of the embossing powder, but it does kind of fill in the gaps. So now that I've figured out where I'm going to put at least this photo, I added that on foam adhesive. And then now I'm looking through all my papers. I wanted to show this because one, this shows a little bit of the kit that I built, which like I said, is mostly Dear Lizzie. And then I added some little extra things that I thought would go well with it. And right now the purple and teal or turquoisey color is like one of my big jams. I've just been loving it like this past year or so. And I don't know if you guys get in this mode, and it could be like more my ADHD or I don't know, something. I don't know if there needs to be an explanation, but I think that this year it's just been, I've just been so drawn to these colors and I've really been enjoying using them. So why not, right? So these are a whole bunch of my papers. And so I'm just looking through and trying to find the papers that are more the colors that I'm looking for. Also, as you can see there on the top, those are the printables, the digitals that I created for February last year for the Crafty Maven. So I'll try to have links in my video for where you can get some of these things, because I think sometimes that's kind of nice when you can find out where you can get some stuff. I'll also have a link to a couple other products that I use that are not mine, but I know where you can get them. So and that other photo is a design team photo. And I wanted to focus this layout with the theme, but I also thought it would be fun to document because this is kind of part of the journey of the Crafty Maven Getaway, but my journey within it, because as the owner of the Crafty Maven Getaway, we started off like completely different than what it is now. But I love this evolution of me, but within it. So, and it's just super fun. So I played around with where I wanted to put that other photo because I have my photo kind of tucking in the layers, but I didn't want the other photo in the layers. But I also was thinking about that crack in the wood grain, and I don't like that it's showing, right? So I know I want to cover it up. And so I start building some stuff around there. And then I realized I don't like that flag down there. I am going to use it, but I'm going to add it somewhere else later. And I'm like, oh, you know what? These colors are really similar. I could put this on here. And then I remember that in my store, I have some wood pieces. And so I'm going to add a wood heart. And I think I just use one wood heart and then I use some other hearts later. So that is one thing that even when you're doing like textures and building layers, you can use like the same motif. It doesn't have to be the same product, if that makes sense. Anyway, so, and this is just one thing I enjoy doing. And so once again, just kind of highlighting that element of me, right? Because this layout is about me. It's about part of my journey. It's about where I was and where I've where I came from, but where I've evolved from. And I love that in this community and industry, I've really been able to grow and change as a person, and things that I thought that I would do, I'm doing something else. So these are the Vicky Bouton Irresistibles. I really like these. These are so fun. I didn't think I was gonna like them as much, because it's just a resist, right? But I had really fun. And like here I'm kind of shading because I didn't like so I'm using a foam. Well, it's not a foam, but it's the Tim Holtz little edger like blender thingy. And you can add foam or you can add felt. And that one is felt. And I wanted to use it because sometimes I feel like the crayons kind of really work well on it. But as you get using it, obviously the product kind of goes off. So, and also I feel like the felt doesn't like come apart as easily as the foam ones do. So I tend to use that because I don't use that thing very often, but I really hate when it gets all cracky and all gross, right? I mean, I think we probably all agree that that's gross, and I'd rather be able to keep using it, and you can use it for different I've also used it for paint too. I will say the paint doesn't last as long and you just got to toss it, but they're pretty cheap. You can get like a really big thing. So I'm trying to figure out some other papers to layer. Since on the bottom I have that partial piece, I'm going to do that on the top too. So kind of mirroring and making it one. And I'm just going to add these different colors that are similar, all from the different papers. Now I did add that paper up at the top that has the X's, which kind of mirrored the doodling that I did. And that I have so much of that, so I just added that in. Oh my gosh, guys, I had such a problem. I ended up with a roll of that tape that like flipped. I don't know if you guys have had that happen, but I hate when it happens because you like lose the roll. Like I tried to fix it and I couldn't fix it. And so I ended up just having to change it. But anyway, so now I'm like, okay, how can I add some of these papers in different spots? And I just start layering even more texture. Like it really did not need it. There is a lot going on, but I just really, this just brings me so much joy. And I had so much fun making this layout. So much fun. And once again, I really just liked the fact that I could focus on things that I love to do. So it really emphasizes that selfie type of thing, you know, where I get to focus on me, even though when I scrapbook, it's for me. But I do use a lot of times my photos as part of how I tell the story, right? And what I add on a page. So if I'm doing a page with my kids, I sometimes might use colors that I enjoy, but I'm also thinking about like what matches with the photo. But because it's me, I could kind of have a little bit more freedom with that aspect of things. I thought about using those triangles because I thought, oh, you know, that would work really nicely because there's already triangles on there. But in the end, I think I take this off because I don't like the that the colors aren't quite the same. That some of those triangles are more blue as opposed to like that turquoisey color. So I'm just gonna keep having fun and keep playing with this. But anyway, so I guess this is a good time to kind of, as I play around with these layers, talk a little bit about like what I'll end up putting on journaling. And I think I'm going to do the journaling on the back because I really want to keep the focus of the layers and everything on the front. And I mean, I could do the journaling on it. I tend to do the journaling later. One, I think it just looks better when I take photos because it's not all crazy, and I am not great at spelling, and so I inadvertently will mess it up. And I don't really care when it's in my album, but when I'm taking pictures, I feel like it can be distracting. Not saying I don't do that, but anyway. But I started the Crafty Maven Getaway over 10 years ago with a group of friends, but I was the one who started it, and all of us were wanting a place and a group to get together and kind of scrap. And it was right after 2Ps closed down, so but it was a different group of scrapbookers, right? We were mostly on Facebook and we were all on YouTube. And so we weren't really, not all of us were in the forums online. We were on YouTube watching each other's videos, like commenting, like many of us now today, right? And so I started the Crafty Maven, and it was all about different people's styles and coming together. And almost every day for many years, we would post different themes. And so we used an inspiration piece that kind of tied us all together, but we did different styles and different types of scrapbooking things. And it was so much fun, especially when we first started. And it really bonded many of us together, just like we have today, right? We have different groups of people who scrap, who have just come together and really formed amazing friendships. And I love the friendships that I got from doing this. I really got to know so many of the ladies, and oh my gosh, you know, and it really helped me in times when like I was so far away. I lived in Hawaii at the time and my daughter had cancer. So like I was kind of stuck inside and I didn't have a big support system that was close to me, right? My family and everything, they were awesome and amazing, but they were stateside as well. So it really helped just kind of focus on some other things, right? And so, and to this day, I'm still friends with some of these ladies, and a lot of them have gone on to do amazing things in the industry, and some of them have taken breaks, just like I took a break. And so it's just, it was super cool to see like how it's grown and how I've grown. And you know, when you start doing YouTube and you start doing sharing, like you kind of start forming ideas of things that you might, goals that you might have for yourself, and things that like, oh man, you know, what if I could do this? And some of us have more goals than others. And some of us, you know, depending on how life is, it just works out differently, right? And so I remember thinking, oh, I probably would love to design papers and stuff. And it's so interesting because now that I've had the chance to kind of design some stuff, I realize as much as that's fun, that's not where I'm at, right? So, or that's not really what I want to do. I want to create and inspire other people. And I still want to have the ability to use whatever products. And I've realized that like over time. But I absolutely loved being on other people's design teams, and I loved the aspect of that community that we have. And so that's one thing this past year, and still working towards that, is finding all my peeps and just making sure that I'm connecting. So also another thing, Jen has a creator support group, and one of the things that we're doing right now is a train where we get put in groups and we watch each other's videos, so we get to experience other people's scrapbookers maybe that we don't know much about, or we've not seen their channel as much. And so we watch 5 videos and we like them and comment and stuff. And I really love the fact that even though I'm not the best at it, I really love that I get to spend time on other people's channels and really celebrate them, because we all work so hard to share and do things. And sometimes it can feel lonely if you don't take the time to work on those friendships. And so I really love it because it helps get that ball rolling, especially if you're like feel overwhelmed and you don't know where to start with that, right? And but then it also, you get to see someone maybe that you wouldn't have thought you would check out their channel, or you just didn't know much about them. And so you get to kind of get to know them, you know, throughout the week. And so it's super fun. So that's, I'll make sure I link to that too, so you guys can see or that group if you are creators, because it's a great group. Anyway, so I am almost done with this layout. Definitely check out everybody else in the hub. I can't wait to see what everybody else created with our theme. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.